let's break the mold. Chasing the stories yet untold. Passion ignites like a blazing fire. Knowledge takes us higher, higher. Out of the box where the wild ones play, we see the game in a whole new way. Living loud, hearts in motion. Sports with soul, pure devotion. The field's alive with endless dreams. We're more than stats, we're the in-between. A slam dunk thought.
Hey, what's going on? You already know it is a Thursday night. It is 7:45. This is the Thursday night countdown preview. My name is Paul Spencer. That is the college man right there. Eddie Prather, my co-host for Cowboys Weekly. Eddie, how are you doing tonight, brother?
I'm doing pretty good. It was such a wonderful Thanksgiving week for me. The Cowboys won on Thanksgiving, then my Arizona Wildcats went and blasted ASU on the next day.
Yeah,
So,
it was a great
oh yeah,
Thanksgiving. Yep.
oh yeah. It was also fun watching Lamar get the running back that takes snaps get his butt whooped on Thanksgiving too.
I tell you what, it was a great Thanksgiving, Eddie. You know, me and the in-laws went out to dinner. I wasn't cooking because we were going to go to their house and they don't get the game. So I was like, we're going out to eat. We're going to my house. We're watching the game. Dallas wins, beats the Chiefs, and continued over the weekend. Notre Dame is just on a 10-game win streak. You know, my Irish are playing great. It's been a great week, last 3 weeks of football for me, Eddie. So we're here to talk about tonight's game. We're going to try to keep it a little biased, Eddie, because we are Cowboys fans. But Eddie, it's Thursday Night Football. And once again, the Dallas Cowboys are on prime time again, Eddie, Thursday Night Football.
I do have a question for you. Did your heart stop a little bit when you saw Jeremiah go down?
Yeah, Eddie, I really did, you know. But you know what, looking at it, I know we were going to win the game, but because we have Jadarian Price, you know, next year's probably Heisman Trophy winner, you know, honestly. But Jeremiah Love is the heartbeat of the team, Eddie. So, yeah, my heart did skip a beat. But when I seen him hobbling off and I see him in the tent, you know, hobbling around, I was okay. I was okay. But, yeah, I was, Eddie. But, hey, let's talk about tonight's game, Eddie. Dallas Cowboys, man, still on life support here. Have to win games to continue the run here. Got to get in the playoffs. The team ahead of us, they hold the tiebreaker, Carolina. The Niners hold the tiebreaker against us. We're on the Eagles' coattails here, basically 2.5 games out because that tie goes a long way. Eddie, tonight's game, let's talk about this game. Dallas Cowboys. The only out player tonight is Javon Clowney. He's going to be out tonight. Diggs is not part of the 53-man roster tonight. Hooker was questionable. Hooker is playing tonight. Tyler Guyton, our left tackle, is out tonight, Eddie. That's the only big downfall we have is that left side of the line there. How do you feel about that left side, first of all, Tyler Guyton being out?
Yeah, Hutchinson, I'm not too afraid of the Hutchinson right now. He looks like he's still trying to work back his way from that major injury he had last year. So
Yeah, I get, you know, Hutchinson's not Aiden Hutchinson this year coming off the injury, of course. I get that, but he still is Aiden Hutchinson, you know, a nasty pass rusher, bull rush finesse, swim moves, you know, if they run him off a twist on the outside. But the thing is that goes along with him, he's playing Nate Thomas tonight on that left side, Eddie. Nate Thomas, you know, one start this entire year, and that was it. And that was a really bad game, Eddie, that Nate Thomas had for the Dallas Cowboys. So, advantage Aiden Hutchinson on the left side there.
yeah, but I have more faith in our offensive line coach than I do in Aiden Hutchinson.
Eddie, you remember when we did Cowboys Weekly, and I said the biggest pickup this year was Connor Riley from Kansas State? Wow, what an MVP coach! Boy, was we right about that coach coming from K-State, right? One hell of a pickup because Eddie, this guy has put this offensive line together with people being out. BB's been out. Booker's been out. Smith's been out. Guyton's been out. The only guy that's played every week is Terrence Steele. Isn't that amazing? That's amazing to me.
And he's been the surprise of the year for the most part.
Yeah, I mean,
Maybe has had maybe one iffy game.
Yeah, his give ups are not that bad this year, Eddie. He's not a turncoat anymore. He's been playing pretty solid there, and he's been really a big showcase for Tyler Booker on that out in the inside, helping him out too for double teams, learning the way there. Dave Yarnell checking in. Dave says, "Hey, fellas, we're going on again Thursday night." Dave, you already know, man. Put it all together tonight. We need this win. The good thing is we're in playoff contention. Who would have thought this? I know you thought it, but still a long way to go. We got to catch a couple teams in front of us, man. We got to win the games that's on our schedule and hope for a little help too. Carolina didn't do us a favor last week, Eddie. They beat the Rams last week. Took a game away from us there because they hold the playoff spot against us, plus the head-to-head there too. They're not winning that division, but we got to stay ahead. But, going to the opposite side of the ball here, Eddie, the Detroit Lions. St. Brown is in tonight, Eddie. He's playing tonight.
Yeah, but I don't think he's going to be he's not going to be 100%. I don't think he's even going to be close to 100%.
Dan and I talked about this earlier. We talked about Dan Campbell. This guy, to me, is the guy that he doesn't care about the team. He wants to go out there and just put players out there, hurt, whatever, take advantage of it. I don't think St. Brown's going to be 100%, Eddie. I really don't. But to me, if I'm okay, Danny, I coach offense. Here's my thing: if my wide receiver is not 100%, the first play of the game, make it or break it, I'm shooting St. Brown deep. I'm running a 9 route down the field because I want that defense to know, oh shit, St. Brown is 100%. He's running routes down the field. I don't want to go and throw him a 5-yard hitch route and not stretch the legs, Eddie. I want to keep that defense honest. You know what I mean? But I don't think he's 100%, honestly. Now, Khalif Raymond, their third back, is going to be out tonight as well. The offensive line was questionable. They're fine. The only person is their left guard, Kwade Asawaka. He's out tonight, Eddie. Michael Neese will be stepping in for him tonight. Penny Sewell is going to be playing. Glasnow is going to be playing. Decker's going to be playing tonight. The only offensive guy that's going to be missing is Caleb Raymond and Osukia, whatever his name is there. Defense, everybody's starting tonight, minus Kerby Joseph. Khalil Dorsey will be starting in his place tonight, or Thomas Harper, one of the two.
Ooh. That's the only Kirby's probably the only defensive back on the Lions I would want the Cowboys.
Yeah,
he's the playmaker.
Yeah, I kind of like it. I mean, Brian Branch is a good strong safety as well. I kind of like that. But Kerby Joseph is that back-end safety help that likes to hit. He's the ball hawk out there. And I think that when you have Thomas Harper out there or a Khalid Dorsey out there, the safeties go deep, man. Test that safety because you can't put 2 safeties on the top when you're missing your best safety out there, in Kerby Joseph. So advantage Cowboys there. Dave's giving us a little update here. According to Jane Slater, St. Brown was looking good on that ankle while he was warming up. I don't think I get that, but I don't think he's going to be 100%, though. You know what I mean? He's been hobbled. Being out in practice, you haven't practiced all week, and you go into game speed, it's a little bit different because, to me, the first thing I'm doing, Eddie, as a defensive player, it could be Bland, it could be Carson. Wherever he's lined up, I'm jamming him so hard at the line of scrimmage and making his foot movement cut on one foot, the bad foot. That's what I'm doing. I'm testing him right away. That's what I'm going to do. But, Eddie, let's talk about this game here real quick. What's the advantages for the Dallas Cowboys here on offense versus this Detroit Lions defense?
Right now, our quarterback is playing a lot better football than their quarterback is.
Yeah. You're right.
And we definitely have the wide receiver advantage with Pickens and Lamb, especially on that secondary.
Yeah, and the guys, I mean, too, you can go 3-4 wide. You can throw Fournier in there. You can throw Turpin in there, too. It's a big advantage, especially to me, Eddie, when their best defensive player in the secondary is out. Kerby Joseph is out playing that secondary position. I might go 3 wide. I might go 4 wide because safeties, when you got Brian Branch and Kerby Joseph, they come down the box and they guard you. They stick you, wide receivers and tight ends. I think the advantage here is Dallas Cowboys all day long. But we say it every week with the Dallas Cowboys, Eddie, we got to give Dak time because you give Dak Prescott time in the pocket, he's MVP ball every week.
Yeah, but the only one that's for the Lions that gives any kind of pass rush on a somewhat consistent basis is Hutchinson. The rest of that defensive line is not scary at all.
Yeah, I mean, you got McNeil. He's an okay player. You got Reeder up there, Muhammad out there, but you're right. Hudson is their player there. I think they're better at linebacker. I like Anzoli and Jack Campbell. Their linebackers are good. You know, I think what we do is we get the second level behind the linebackers there, and I feel that Dallas can put up a lot of points on that defense. You know, the Detroit defense there. Is there any advantage for the defensive side of the ball being Detroit opposite, other than Aiden Hutchinson though?
I don't see it.
I don't see it. Honestly, I don't see it, Eddie. But I think the linebacker play comes into play here because I feel their linebackers are ball hawks, man. They can play. Anzoni is everywhere. You know, Jack Campbell, we know what he does. He's good. He was a solid pickup from this year. So I think the linebackers could come into play. But I think what Dallas does is protect Dak Prescott on the offensive side of the ball and get the ball downfield. And the one thing you can't do, you cannot abandon the run. Javonte Williams has to run the rock tonight. He has to run the ball tonight. Good. They can't abandon that, Eddie.
And I think Dallas will. They haven't quit on Devontae Williams, even if he struggles in the first half. Look at the second Philadelphia game where he
Mm-hmm.
he did get some yards in the second half, where
Yeah.
when he finally got going a little bit.
And, you know, look, another inactive just came through here. He's really the fifth wide receiver. Jalen Tolbert is out tonight. That's going to leave, you know, CD, Pickens, Flournoy, Turpin. And your boy, your favorite player, Jonathan Mingo's active tonight as well. Just thought I'd throw that out
He ain't
there.
gonna, yeah, Mingo's not going to see the field.
No, he's not going to see the field unless we're up 30. Easily, maybe. Yeah, you're right. 100%. Dave says Detroit secondary is very weak. I'm looking to see a lot of play. I agree, Eddie. I'm sorry, Dave. I agree there too. I think they're going to be throwing the ball downfield. I think that what they do is they try to establish the run first to bring the extra safety down in the box, and then you're going to have lights out with, you know, wide receivers Pickens, Lambs, and even Flournoy. I mean, he's catching everything. He's like the catch radius of anything out there. He catches everything, and we didn't even talk about Ferguson either. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I think Branch is probably going to have to stay on for help with Ferguson.
Well, that's where I think Anzalone comes into play there. You know, I think the linebacker there, Anzalone, is going to keep Ferguson in check. Campbell, I think, is probably going to be the pass rusher because he is the more, you know, like Jack Ham linebacker that comes down the box, likes to hit you at the line of scrimmage. So I think Anzalone is going to be the one that's going to be on top of Ferguson. He can stay with them, which means to me that Branch is going to be, well, pick your poison. Do you want to go to Lamb? Do you want to go to Pickens side? And that's going to leave, you know, the opposite guy out there. Their new guy coming out there. He's going to be on safety on help on the opposite guy, the Pickens. So I think Dallas has every advantage out there. But let's talk about the Dallas defense real quick, Eddie. Let's go to the Detroit Lions offense. Jared Goff. Here's my thing, Eddie. Eddie, when we talked about that Oakland Raiders shellacking, I said Dallas Cowboys did something that no team does in the NFL anymore. They were up 15 points. Eberflus did something I haven't seen in so long. Eddie, he went to a 5-3. He went to a 5-3 the week before he played the Eagles. To me, I think he's kind of a smart coach with the players he has to put him in position because they shut down the Eagles' offensive line there with that 5-3. Now, tonight, when the Eagles played Detroit, they ran a 4-4-3. They got pressure on Goff. Imagine what Dallas's 5-3 can do to Jared Goff tonight. One of Goff's worst games against the Philadelphia Eagles. The pressure needs to be there from the front four for the Dallas Cowboys, Eddie. Or front five.
Sewell has not had the best year for his. He's kind of had a weak year this year. The Lions offensive line has been. I think Gibbs has had what 2 or 3 games this year that we were like wow, but a bunch of mediocre other games where he no showed.
And Eddie, to me, this game is exactly like playing the Philadelphia Eagles. Jamar Gibbs more speedier than Saquon Barkley. I get that. Speed kills. You can't tackle what you can't catch. But here's my thing: the Eagles have better wide receivers in the Detroit Lions. You know, Devontae Smith, AJ Brown. They don't have Khalif Raymond tonight. You have Jamison Williams out there, another speedster. Hobbled St. Brown. But here's my thing. To me, Dallas Cowboys can get pressure on them, take away the running game, make Goff beat you. The secondary's playing pretty good right now, Eddie. Carson's playing lights out. Bland is bland. The secondary's playing pretty damn good. The front five are playing good. Hey, listen, we got Shamar James playing linebacker, another ball guy out there that can play. We got Overshown playing tonight. We got Logan Wilson playing tonight. We got some bangers out there. And the secondary, well, you know what? Your front four, your front five are getting pressure now, which doesn't keep your safeties on an island, booking lost that. You only have to guard 4 seconds now, not 5 or 6. So to me, the biggest thing to me is having their left guard out. Eddie, when you run against Quinnen Williams, Odigizua, and Kenny Clark, and their left guard is out tonight, this could be a really big pressure game for the Dallas front four, or I want to say front five, Eddie.
If Dallas makes the playoffs, it will be because of the Quinnen Williams trade. He has made such a big difference for our defense. Isn't it?
You're 100% right, Eddie. You think about this, okay? Everybody. I even said it, Eddie. Okay, Micah Parsons, one hell of a generational player. $45 million, let's say $50 million a year, Eddie. Quinnen Williams is $23 million a year, signed for the next year. Logan Wilson barely makes $5 million a year. You got a draft pick, Eddie. You got both of these players, and you know what? Your defense is playing better than Micah Parsons. They're playing better without him, honestly. I love the trade because this was the turnaround. The biggest 2 turnarounds to me this year, preseason, George Pickens on a third round pick at third round, Eddie, for George Pickens.
And Aaron Rodgers is probably thinking to himself right now, why to the front office?
Well, I was looking at a lot of things today, Eddie, on Twitter. I was reading something about, George Pickens in the locker room. One player called him childish. Greatest player on earth could be, but the most childish person off the field, in the locker room. He was a kid playing a man's game. But you know what? You're with the right team now. And I tell you what, Eddie, I got to give Schottenheimer so much credit because the way he coaches this team, Eddie, the mojo's there. He's a team coach. He's a team player coach. And he's a coach that doesn't take bullshit. Benching Lamb, benching Pickens last week, that to me shows you a lot. I don't care who you are. I don't care what you make. I don't care. You show up and you play 53-man football. That's something to me that I haven't seen.
What impressed me is that Pickens, when he got in the game, he didn't sulk, he didn't cry, he didn't whine. Yes. He went out there and played his butt off. And I think maybe Pickens to that Steeler player that said that about Pickens, hey, maybe your head coach, the overrated bum Tomlin that has never won anything without Bill Cowher's players.
Yeah.
Mike Tomlin should have been fired like 5 years ago.
Yeah, and the crazy thing, not to get off record here, a friend of mine went to the game and he sent me a video of the Pittsburgh game last week against Buffalo, and it was insane. Right around the beginning of the fourth quarter, instead of playing Renegade, as a tradition of the Pittsburgh Steelers there at Ascure Stadium, not Heinz anymore, they booed Renegade to song number 1, and number 2. Right after Renegade stopped, the biggest chant came out, and he had it on video. He sent it to me. I'll put it in the group chat. Fire Tomlin. Fire Tomlin. And then right after that, overrated. And I was like, wow, Tomlinson. Really? But you're right, Eddie, 100%. Dave's got a great one here. I believe if they shut down Jamison Williams and Jamar Gibbs to a certain amount of yards, we should be able to pull this game out. I do agree with that. Like I said, I think it's really of an Eagles scenario here. They have Saquon, they have Montgomery, another back as well. But you keep Gibbs in check and you keep Williams out there on the field and you keep a safety on top of him. And you know what? You bang all night against St. Brown. You make him work for every movement out there. You put more pressure on that leg, make him beat you certain ways. And if Goff beats you through the air, so be it. We know he can do it. He can put up 400 yards. He's won games throwing 100 yards. He's won games throwing 450. We know he can do it. But I think Dallas has the advantage on this side of the ball. And plus, if it comes down close, Eddie, we know we have the best goddamn kicker in the NFL, Brandon Aubrey. You know what I mean? So, Eddie, what are the advantages here? What is the keys to the game tonight, Eddie? We got about 10 minutes before the game starts. Well, 15 minutes before the game starts. 10 minutes on a show here. What are the keys for the Dallas Cowboys? What's the X factor for the Dallas Cowboys tonight?
Dak needs to take advantage of that weak Detroit secondary. Get Pickens and Lamb going. Have our running game going. Don't stop running, even if we struggle even early on, because we've seen Devontae turn it up in the second half when needed.
Okay.
Uh,
Okay.
and if just all you have to do is get the ball inside the 50 to 60-yard range, and it's a guaranteed field goal.
Even though he did miss one on Thanksgiving, he wrote the ship and made a good one for us. You know what I mean? Yeah.
When that counted.
It did. It did. God bless Brandon Aubrey. And Dave, real quick, where did he go to college at? Where did he go to college at? Anybody know? I know Dave's out there saying, "You son of a bitch. I can't believe you said that." Yeah, that's right, Dave. You know where he went to college. And the craziest thing is, well, even though we got hacked on Twitter, his wife actually follows our old Twitter, Mrs. Aubrey. Can't get Brandon to follow us, but we got his wife to follow us. But you're right, 100%. Dave says he loves his kickers. I know. That's the trivia question. You can never stump Dave if you ask him a question about Cowboys kickers. He'll tell you every one throughout since 1970, pretty much. He is the kicker guy. I always told Dave, if I ever got a college job, I would bring Dave in as my kicker consultant. I would. That's why we're bringing Dave for.
I think the first kicker that me, you, and Dave can think of as Cowboys is probably Ralphio. Ralphio is the first kicker I can remember for the Cowboys.
Wow. Yeah. You're right. You're right. Yep. Eddie's going, yo, Paul. And then he says, yo, Eddie. And Dave, that is right. The ND. We are the Fighting Irish. And we better make the damn playoffs. You better freaking put them in this year. We deserve it. But, Eddie, real quick, what's the score of the game tonight, Eddie? Early on the show, you said it was a blowout on the Thursday night, NFL Weekly Talk. That Dave and Dan and I. You said it was a blowout.
41. I'm sticking to the score. 41-27.
41-27. Jeez, Eddie.
We just have so much power. We just have so much power on that offense right now. Everything's clicking. Been clicking perfectly the last 3 weeks.
41-27, Eddie. Wow. Okay. I can see it happening. Yeah, I could see that. Michael says, I think the Cowboys beat the Lions, even though I don't want that to happen. Well, we want it to happen, Michael. So, just sit in your chair and say, go Cowboys for us. That's all we need you to do. We need all Cowboys out there to say it. Eddie, I do think the Cowboys win this tonight. Eddie, I'm going to go 31-27 tonight, man. No, what I say? I'll say it was a 6-point game. 32. No, 32. 32-26. 32-26, Eddie. Kind of odd score. 33-26. I think the Eagles. The Lions have the ball coming down the field. And I think Goff throws a pick or doesn't convert on fourth down to solidify the game. I think Dallas wins by 7, Eddie. Yeah.
That's another advantage that we have. We have the smarter head coach.
Yeah. One that's not going to go for us on 4th and 1 at his own 1 yard line, right? Yeah, 4th and 10 at his own yard line. Yeah.
What was it? 6 times he did that.
Yeah,
and the good thing is,
and the good thing is he's the play caller tonight too. That's the good thing about it. He's the play caller for the Detroit Lions, which helps us out. Advantage Cowboys. At least we got Clayton Adams and Schottenheimer calling our plays. Michael's got 31-22.
Michael, sometimes in life you have to learn to eat shit and like it. So go Cowboys.
All right, Dave's got pretty much what I got, 31-23. He's got an 8-point win for the Cowboys. I think Dallas does win this. Here's the final thing I want to ask everybody real quick. You got 41. I got 33. Michael's got 31. Dave's got 31. Who scores touchdowns for the Dallas Cowboys? I don't want to make it a Dallas Cowboys show, but who scores for the Dallas Cowboys tonight? Give me 2 scores for the Dallas Cowboys. Eddie, you got 41. That's 6 touchdowns, basically. Give me 2 touchdowns for the Dallas Cowboys, 2 players, and then give me 1 for the Lions. Everybody in the chat, give me 1. Eddie, I'll let you go first.
The first one for Dallas is Pickens, and the second one's kind of out of the box here. A bland pick 6.
Wow, really? Bland's back? Bland's gonna pick one tonight, huh? Okay, I like that. I like that. I like that. Okay.
And the Lions, Gibbs.
I kind of agree with that. I kind of agree with that too. Michael's got Pickens 2 TDs. I can see that happening because it's either going to be one or the other going off tonight. Because if you're going to put Branch on top of one, you got to compensate for the other guy too. You went out of the box, man. I think. I don't think. You know what? I think Lamb gets one tonight. I think Pickens might be a little down tonight. I'm gonna give Lamb one, but you went out of the box. I'm gonna give you one out of the box here tonight, Eddie. You ready for this one? You ready for this one? You went out of the box with Bland, giving a pick six, and you call it a pick six. I'm gonna give you one that I'm gonna go, Mister Malik Practice Squad Davis tonight. He's going to break one tonight, Eddie. He's going to break a nice run tonight. He is going to be our David Montgomery, get it down to the red zone, and pound that son of a bitch in. I'm going to go Malik Davis for a touchdown tonight. Yeah.
Hey, the Cowboys just signed a running back to the practice squad. Has Jaden Blue? Is Jaden Blue in so much in the doghouse that he can't even be the?
You know what, Eddie? I was reading about this today. I listened to a podcast in Vegas. They were talking about this guy, and I don't know who they know, but they said Jaden Blue in the locker room. They don't know who said this. I hate it. I hate when this stuff gets out. They say Jaden Blue, if they could go back in time right now and draft another player, Jaden Blue would have been off their board and wouldn't even be touched to the 6th round, Eddie. You know that? He is bad. I mean, bad. Yeah,
there's there's a reason why he was never the full-time running back at Texas.
You're right. You're right. Now that I look at it, yep. All right, Dave's got, man. All right, Dave. You got Javonte Williams, George Pickens. He's got Fergie. He's got Lamb. And for the Lions, so you got an Aubrey field goal in there too, because you had 31, that's 7. So you got an Aubrey field goal in there somewhere too. For the Lions, Gibbs, special teams, and St. Brown and Jameis Williams. I can see Gibbs. I'm going to give the Lions a Jamar Gibbs touchdown there because sometimes you can't catch what you can't tackle what you can't catch, and I think he gets loose once in a while there. I agree with you, Eddie. So, man.
Yeah, the problem with Williams is that he's inconsistent. You never know if Williams will show up for the Lions.
That's true too. Jameis Williams, I mean, coming from Alabama, he's a star-studded, guy. You're right, Eddie. I don't know which one I'm going to get there. He's a speedster, but the speed doesn't kill me when you got back-end help that can help, compensate for that. To me, the key here is you got to stay on. You got to stay on top of Gibbs and Montgomery if they're in the game. You got to shut down them guys right there. The tight end even there. The tight end doesn't scare me as well because you think about the Lions team there. The tight end Ross Dooley is going to be starting tonight. I'm not scared of him. I'm scared of him.
There's Goff doesn't have his safety valve, his safety net in Laporta.
Exactly. Sam Laporta is a huge disadvantage what they don't have tonight too as well. You think about that. But Dallas, you got to get this one. I don't want to be biased about it. I want to see Dallas win this game tonight. Game starts in about 5 minutes here, Eddie. So, Eddie, you ready to get out of here and go watch some
Yeah.
I don't want to say Cowboys win. I want to say some Thursday night football. But you know what? Let's go watch the Cowboys win tonight, Eddie.
I smell lion dinner. I smell lions for dinner.
Well, you know what? Let's see. Last week I had turkey. Okay. Then I had a couple Chiefs over for dinner. They got scalped. This week I've never had lion before. But you know what? I'd like to try some lion. You know what I mean? And then on Christmas, I get to try some Commanders. Isn't that amazing that we play on Thanksgiving? We play on Christmas. The first Netflix game, and we play on Netflix on Christmas Day. Man, all eyes on the Dallas Cowboys. That's all it is. All eyes on the Dallas Cowboys, brother. That's what it is. Yeah, that's what it is. And Dave says, let's go, boys. It's time. Game time, baby, real quick. That's right, Dave. Thanks for checking. Everybody checking. I appreciate that. Let's go watch some Thursday night football. Eddie will be back next Thursday to talk about some NFL football as well. And, Eddie, Friday night, we got something going on this week, don't we?
We got College Football Weekly. It's a big weekend.
It is conference championship games, Eddie. We can't talk about my team, but we will talk about my team, who deserves to be in there. But Eddie, you ready to get out of here, brother?
Yep.
All right, guys. My name is Paul Spencer. That is Eddie Prather right there, the college professor. Check us back tomorrow night talking college football Frenzy at 7 p.m. And until then, enjoy your game tonight. And Eddie, take us out of here, man.
Let's go Cowboys!
You already know. We'll see you next Thursday night with another NFL Thursday night preview.
Game on game strong, let's break the mold. Chasing the stories yet unfold. Passion ignites like a blazing fire. Knowledge takes us higher, higher. Out of the box where the wild ones play, we see the game in a whole new way. Living loud, hearts in motion. Sports with soul, pure devotion. The field's alive with endless dreams. We're more than stats, we're the in-between.